The Sarah B. Show, coming through your stereo. Say it loud, let's sing it proud, like a homegrown rodeo. The Sarah B. Show, coming through your stereo. LT2 is where you go to hear the Sarah B. Show.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Sarah B. Show. I want to give a shout out once again to Mr. Brett Myers, who recorded that song for me so many years ago. And it was like a big deal. Like he had I had to sign a little thing and, it was like, he's a big deal, right? He's a MLB man and then turned singer and in a band, and I had to sign a bunch of stuff. And I don't even know if I'm still allowed to use it, but I'm using it. Sorry, Brett. Go check him out, Brett Myers. His music is great. Very country and, twangy, very dirty country. What do you call that? Red dirt country? I don't even know. I should know. I'm from Texas. Country's here, but I don't know all my countries. Anyway, whatever. Yeah. So what's up, guys? It is what is today? Friday night. And I'm at home drinking kombucha. Not drinking any wine tonight, although I really, really wanted some wine, and there were some seltzers in the fridge, and I was like, something to take the edge off. Happy Friday. Long weekend. Sounded really good. Still sounds really good, but I have to go do my long run tomorrow. So I'm trying to be a good little girl, and it's difficult. Not that I'm doing that long of a run. It's only 5 miles tomorrow, but I have to be up very early, and I want to feel good for that. I don't want to feel although I normally, to be honest, run under much worse circumstances than having just one drink, but trying to be healthy habits. Plus, that being said, we have a doozy of a night out coming out tomorrow night. So, I kind of want to be ready for that. I'm getting my body ready. I don't think men are the same as women when it comes to this, but my ladies, my girlies, they know what I'm talking about. I think whenever I say it's going to be a night out tomorrow, we already know what outfits we're wearing and the shoes, it is ready. It's going to be wild. Ubers are going to be happening. We have the main first location, and we know there's probably going to be many others after. We have plans set in place. We have things we're going to try. It's going to be a night for the books. It's you already know you're calling your shot. It's going to be one of those nights. So I'm excited, and that's why I'm trying to be clean, be healthy right now, because I'm just preparing for tomorrow night. Now I hope it's going to be that great. It kind of sucks when you prepare for a night like that, and then it's super mediocre or average, and you're oh, well, I thought this was gonna be a lot more wild, and it's not. So, but we'll see. I'm definitely probably gonna have people sleeping over tomorrow night after as well. And then the funny thing is, we have our run club on Sunday morning, and a lot of people from the run club are gonna be going out. So we're probably gonna show up to the run, maybe to walk, maybe in pajamas, maybe just for pastries and coffee. Who knows? We're going to see how things go. But I am very excited for tomorrow night. So probably will be posting about that on social media if you want to follow along and see the chaos that ensues. Or maybe it'll be chill and just a good time. Who knows? We will see. But anyway, I digress. Today, guys, I'm going to talk to you about Italy some more. Like I said, I'm going to break this up into 3 parts, the 3 different places that I visited, which the first one was obviously Florence, which was my last episode. Today, we're going to do Riomaggiore of the Cinque Terre, and then next time will be Rome. And I will say I've had a lot of good feedback, a lot of questions, comments. Damn it. Actually, I was supposed to answer some of these. You know what? I am lazy right now, and I don't feel like going and looking for these. So I'm going to save it. Keep sending in your questions, your emails, and I promise I will be on top of it next time. GJ, specifically to you, I know you've asked me something and I didn't read it fully. I've had a lot of comments going in about this, and I need to read them. There's only one I've read. But I promise I will answer all those questions. Next time you can go to sarahbshow.com and you can see my website there. You can listen to past episodes, find all my social media sites, and you can also leave a question, a comment, send a voicemail, whatever the case may be. It is chaos outside right now. Anyway, so yeah, do that. And I promise I will answer those all in the next episode. Maybe I'll do the Q&A before I get into Rome shenanigans. So yeah, we'll do that. But one I did read was, and you guys know me. I'm very open about my life, obviously, about everything that goes on, good and bad. And sometimes and it doesn't happen often, but sometimes I take a break or I give a little space for something that I need to like process before I really open up and talk about it. But I've been getting a lot of messages from y'all, specifically my ladies, about what happened with the guy that you were seeing that I so proudly gushed about so quickly, right? I'll get into that. Not on this episode. I'll probably finish these Italy series and then I promise I will open up about it. I'm just going to say, dating and relationships and meeting people is hard and it's rough and it doesn't matter what age you are or how great somebody seems to be. I don't know, man. Things are just very confusing out there. And S happens, right? So I will definitely give an update after the Italy episodes. But I got you, girls. I will open up about it all as much as I can because I'm still very confused about a lot of it. So that's a teaser for you. And in the meantime, let's have a sip of kombucha. While we so gracefully change the subject. And I also, before we get back into the Italy stuff, want to tell you guys once again about Go Cleanse. I'll be quick, but it's awesome. GoCleanse.com/Sarah. You can go there and get some amazing products, whether you want to get healthy, whether you want to lose weight, whether you just want to cut some edges off or just, have a little lifestyle change, feel better in general. There's so many things Go Cleanse does for you and it's pretty great. And if you're wanting to do the weight loss stuff, you can do the 11-day Go Cleanse or the 30-day. I always say I like having it in the cabinet at all times just to kind of do little random cleanses here and there. I've been kind of doing that since I got back from Italy. I've been worried that what I eat, I'm going to start gaining the weight back again. So far, so good. But I always have Go Cleanse in my freaking cabinet, whether it be the cleanse stuff or obviously the collagen, which I always talk about. It's really great, made with the highest grade ingredients and also comes in these cute little, brown glass bottles. Keep it in the fridge. It is so good chilled. It's my go-to every single morning. I wake up for work and the alarm goes off. I walk in there, start my coffee, and I drink my little collagen. And it's my little, my little good habits, my healthy habits. So anyway, they have a lot of really awesome stuff. Protein snacks. They just started offering creatine as well. That apparently is really great. I still haven't jumped on that bandwagon yet, but I am curious about it. But so many great supplements and just, all that stuff, guys. So go check it out. GoCleanse.com/Sarah, SARAH, and get yourself some Go Cleanse. You will not be sorry. Go read the reviews. It tells you everything you need to know. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to any of the coaches, reach out to me. I can try to help you, and we can get you settled in there. All right, guys, let's get into it. Italy Part 2, Riomaggiore. So last we left off, I was leaving beautiful Florence. I was not sad, actually. I really, really liked Florence, but I was super excited to go to Rio. Because, it's the beach, it's a whole different vibe. I was like, this is going to be great. Florence was everything and more. So Rio is going to be awesome. I was feeling a lot more confident as well at this point after navigating my way through Italy for 3 or 4 days and, kind of getting the train system, the transportation, the language, just feeling more confident and comfortable and just I got this. I wasn't scared anymore. My phone situation was nailed down. Everything was perfect. So I was like, let's go. Next stop, Riomaggiore, let's go. So I had been nervous about this because I didn't really fully know how to get there. And again, I had to learn the train system. So it was 2 trains I had to take. I was in Florence at the Santa Maria Novella station. I had to take that to La Spezia. And again, at this point, I had the Trenitalia app or whatever. And I was really good at booking my tickets. So I'd already bought both of my tickets a day ahead of time. I had the military time down. I was pretty damn proud of myself. So anyway, I got there feeling very good and very confident. Got on my train, headed to La Spezia, and it was so weird because it was beautiful. The journey, it was nice. I was just feeling good. And then Italy, life is awesome. And then we stopped in Pisa, and I was like, it's so weird to me that I'm here and I'm not getting off to go see the Leaning Tower. Just another stop on my way to my next destination. Who needs to see it? And I was like, should I get off? Anyway, it's just kind of funny because it's just so much cool stuff to see in Italy and the rest of the world. And it's just, so little time. I got to go back and see it all. So anyway, past that, went to La Spezia, got off, and I had to catch another train to go to the Cinque Terre. So they call this the Cinque Terre Express. Cinque 5, there's 5 little cities there, and you can take the express to each of them, and they're all so close. So The coolest thing about this, and this is why I was most excited about this destination, is because it's like these 5 cities that are like built up into like the mountains basically. So it's like beaches and mountains, and they're all there. You can take a train to each of them, and it's like a 2-minute train ride to each city, or you can hike between the cities, like up on the freaking mountaintops, and then some of it's like down by the beaches and stuff. But it's like hours to hike between city to city, but it's very doable. It's actually Cinque Terre National Park, so you have to like buy a park pass to be able to hike, and they recommend good shoes. It's very, very high up. A lot of it's very steep and dangerous. Some of it gets closed down due to heat or weather conditions. So definitely, if you're going to do that, go check it. But that was my intention, was to go stay in one of the cities and to hike in between all of them over the few days I was going to stay there. So that was the plan. I also researched each of the cities to see which one was the best, and definitely do this if you're going to stay there. So a lot of people go to Italy for the Amalfi Coast, which is initially what I was going to do. And I definitely want to see that eventually, obviously. And it's beautiful and amazing. But the Amalfi Coast is very pricey. And there's a lot of pricey places and cheaper places. The Cinque Terre is like the cheaper version of the Amalfi Coast. It's also known as the Italian Riviera. And I haven't been to Amalfi, obviously, so I can't say anything. But I freaking loved Cinque Terre. It was so small and quaint, and like just these seaside villages, and like it had such a charm to it, you guys. Oh my gosh. So first things first, I get my ticket, my train ticket, and well, actually, okay, hold on. So I was saying I did my research. I just get so excited. There's too much to talk about here. You do your research and see where you want to stay in all of these places, and definitely book ahead of time. I did August, where everything was selling out like crazy, and I ended up choosing Riomaggiore because I was looking at like where had the best nightlife. Because you guys know me, I like to stay out and party and drink and meet people and dive bars and fun, and that's initially what I was going for. So if you're wanting more beach, like Monterosso would be the best one, because those are just like, it's just like a really nice big sandy beach. That's like the best beach. But I went there and I was just like not a fan. It was just not me, right? Like I don't want to sit there and pay for an umbrella and a chair and sit at the beach all day. Like, and it's not just like, I posted pictures. It's like thousands of umbrellas. Like it's just so many people. And that's where a lot of people stay because they like that vibe. So it's very crowded there. There's an old town and a new town, apparently. A lot of really good restaurants and stuff. So it's good for that. Easy to get around, very flat. If you're not a hiker or you're not in super good shape, I would avoid where I stayed, which is Riomaggiore, because that one is literally built up into a mountain. And everything I read was, it is so steep. It is so hard to get around. No rolling bags, no this, no that. Like, it's insane. And I'm like, oh, I'm pretty fit. Like, I got this. I had no idea. Like, it was crazy, y'all. It was like straight up, straight down, everywhere you went. It didn't matter if you were doing the steps to get into your places, like your hotels or Airbnbs, or even being by the beach, or even going up into the city. It was literally like an insane like angle. You're like, oh my God, like to get, it's a trek. Like I even told my mom, I was like, I want you to see, my mom has bad knees from playing college basketball and stuff. But I was like, I don't know that you would be able to do it. I really don't. It's crazy. And there's cities that it's like, there's places that say built up into the city, and then there's places like down by the ocean. Just know it's a trek to get there. And apparently Vernazza, which I went to, is the same, but Rio is way worse. And then Cornelia as well is very built up. So if you're going to stay at any of these and you don't want to hike or climb or put in much fitness, Monterosso is the easy option. It's very flat, very chill. But anyway, Menarola is not too bad either. But anyway, so just definitely do your research, see what you want to find. Some places are more chill and whatever, but Rio is very lively. I very much was excited to stay there. So and after all of that, I definitely think I made the right decision. I'm going to say right now, I think the one thing I would do differently is either not stay there as long or switch up staying in different cities. Because I stayed 4 nights in Rio, and I'll go into why in a little bit, but I would change it up and maybe stay in a couple different places. That's just me. But it was also my favorite place that I stayed out of everywhere. So basically I get on the train, I pull up to Riomaggiore, and like getting there, like you go through this like long tunnel in the train, and you're like, I can't even see what's happening. It's like cold and dark and weird. And like, then all of a sudden when you freaking pull out of this tunnel into Rio, it is the most unbelievable view. I literally like teared up. It was so unbelievable. Just huge cliffs, vast ocean, just unbelievably beautiful. Like it literally takes your breath away when you get out there and you're like, oh my gosh. So I get there. And I was getting texts from my girl. Everything also, I don't know if I said this, I did through booking.com. Because especially in smaller places like this, there's not hotels. It's all like Airbnbs and like tiny little like boutique hotels or like bed and breakfast that locals own. And they'll have like a few rooms that they rent out. And so that is what I did in every place I stayed. I went through booking.com. You can read so many reviews. Like it's just, pictures. Like it even has like options you can pick like on what's best for solo travels, what's best for going out in nightlife, what's best for beach views, like whatever. You can choose what you're looking for, which I really enjoyed that. So anyway, my host was super helpful and she met me at the train station actually to help me get there. And my first thought was like, that's really nice. And then it went to like, wait, maybe this is because it's like hard to find. And it was absolutely the second one. If she would not have met me there, I would have never found my room like ever. So I told you guys, I was feeling super confident. Like I can find my way around anywhere. I mastered Florence. Like let's on to the next one. Oh my God, y'all. I get there and this place is insane. It's all tunnels and like I told y'all it was steep. So there's stairs or a tunnel that you can take up into the town, or there's an elevator, a literal elevator that you take to the next level of the city because that is how steep it is. So it's for like if you're staying at certain like Airbnbs or boutique hotels, like you get this, or you can buy like a pass every day to use this elevator. So tourists use this elevator to go up to the higher places in the city. Like it is that steep. It's crazy. So anyway, she takes me to my room and the whole time there, I'm just like in my mind, like she carries my bag for me. We're straight up and down. Like it is crazy. And she was wearing these teeny little flip-flops. And I'm like, these steps, the stairs to get up are like 2 feet tall. You're like, like, oh my God, like no wonder I lost weight there. It's crazy. But they're so used to it. And the only thing I thought the whole time there was like, I'm never gonna be able to find my way around here. And even like getting on like Google Maps after Florence, like it's like, it would say something's like a minute away or something, but it would be all these weird turns that you couldn't find anywhere you were going because everything was teeny tiny alleyways and straight up and down stairs and turns and curves. And it looks like you're going into people's like houses or restaurants. Like it was very intimidating. So that's all I was thinking about as I was getting led to my room. And she brought me there. Again, she was like my age, sweetest girl, so gorgeous. And showed me around my little room, gave me recommendations for things, had bought me a bottle of wine with 2 little cups and had it chilled in the fridge, like this local wine. The wine there was very, very good. And they just had so many that they actually make there, which was, I mean, like everywhere. God, Italy's just freaking awesome. It was so great. Anyway, I had air conditioning there, but it was turned off. It was so hot. She had like bottles of water waiting for me. I had a great little view out my window of the ocean. It was so cute. And yeah, she was just so great. And the funny thing is too, I had actually had a different hotel booked because it had free breakfast every day and they had hot tubs and like a little bar on site. But it was like up at the very top of the city and it was expensive. It had really great views. I would have had a giant room, my own terrace, all this stuff. But I ended up canceling last minute and getting this one that was like down right on the water. And honestly, I'm so thankful I did that. First of all, I saved like $300 or $400 by doing that. And secondly, like, I just didn't really want something I could have breakfast access to every day. I kind of like getting out and walking around and doing my own thing instead of paying extra for that. And now seeing how the city was built up, like I was down on the water in the action, like all the fun stuff was happening there, all the restaurants, all the views. If I would have been up in the top of the city, I don't know for sure, but I feel like there's a chance maybe I wouldn't have come down as much, or I would have been like, oh God, I don't want to make the trek down there. Like I'm going to chill here. And I also feel like it was probably a lot of older people staying up there because like a taxi meets you and drives you to the top of this mountain and you kind of just stay. So definitely, again, research what you want to do, make your trip for yourself because there's so many different options like that. So I'm very happy I changed rooms. She was so sweet. And then she also told me she gave me a coupon. Like she has some friends that were a couple and they own a little like bar, like a wine bar and cocktail bar right on the water. And she's like, go here. It's perfect at sunset. This gets you a free drink, like have fun. And so I went there that evening. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, hold on. So first I was like a little overwhelmed. I let myself chill for a bit, turned on the air, let it get cooled down in there. And I was like, I'm going to explore. So I went to get lunch. I went and bought like a little Aperol Spritz in a bottle and they gave me a little straw. And I bought a slice of pizza and went and sat like out on the water just looking at the ocean. And it was so hot, but so beautiful. And it was amazing to finally see these places that I've looked at for like my entire life in books and magazines on the internet and been like, one day I'll see this. And I was seeing it with my own eyes. Like there's just nothing like that. It was just awesome. And I remember I called my dad out there and I was telling him what I was looking at, sending him pictures of everything. Like it was cool to share that. So yeah, it was neat. And as I went out, like I said, I got very, very overwhelmed because I'm like, oh my gosh. So there's one way that goes to the sea, one way that goes to the city. And this, it was insane. So I finally eventually found my way back to my room, which was awesome. And, anyway, I started talking to my new bestie, ChatGPT, on the best restaurants there. And I think I said this before, the big thing in Italy is to like eat local, as far as like there's different delicacies in each place that you stay. So in Florence, you know, the Chianti was really good there, and like their pastas, their red sauces, their pizzas, just really, really good. And then in Riomaggiore or Cinque Terre was saying, obviously fresh seafood, you're right there on the water. And then also pesto is what they're known for there. They have a lot of pesto making classes, which I'm kind of like sad I didn't take because they were highly recommended and looked really fun. So next time I will definitely do that. But anyway, pesto, seafood, their white wine, so good. So that night I went to a little restaurant. It was super yummy. I had a seafood pasta, and then as I was eating, there was this cat that came in, and she was so cute. And they just let her in the restaurant, and she was like rubbing all over my feet, and then she sat under my feet and like wouldn't leave me. She was with me for like an hour, and I was like, oh my God, this is like so cute. I had a little friend, so that was nice. And after dinner, let me see. Oh, I made another list. Let me make sure I got to everything. Dee-doo-doo-doo. Yeah, basically. So anyway, after that, I was like, I want to go to a bar, like I always do. So there was one right next door that seemed pretty lively, and there were some cute guys outside. So I went in and I was like, can I sit outside? And they were like, yeah. So I did. Great story. And it felt very immediately like very predatorial. Like I looked cute. I had a little red dress on, like, and I sat out there at a table by myself, and immediately all the guys that I was like, oh, they're so hot, were just like staring staring through me. And I'm like, what have I done? I feel like a little like mouse that just sat out here with like all these like big tomcats. Like it was so weird, and I was like, this is interesting. So it's fine. So I ordered a drink, and then the bar manager a few minutes came out later and brought me a shot, and I was like, what's this? And he's like, oh, the bartender in there bought this for you. And I looked in there, and he like waved at me and winked, and I'm like, that's interesting. And I was like, what is it? And he goes, drugs. And I'm sorry, but like, I'm a woman, like in general, that's just not funny to joke about, much less a woman from America who's traveling to a different country and solo, and I'm out by myself, and you're gonna joke around that there's drugs in this. Like, maybe you thought it was funny and cheeky, but in this day, age, and time, like, it's not. So immediately I was like, I'm not drinking this. And so anyway, like, he comes back around later and he's like, seriously? And he's like, I was just kidding. And I was like, well, you know, it's not really that funny. And he's like, here, I'll drink half. So he did. And I was like, okay, thank you. And I drank the other half. And even then I was like, this is like the strongest thing I've ever tasted. Like it was like lighter fluid or something. Like it was not good. And in my mind, like there was just a creepy vibe, right? So then there's the other woman that came out, this like older redheaded lady, and she's from Canada. And these guys had been like hitting on me over there, and I was like not into it. And so then this bar manager takes her over there to meet them, and she's drunk, and he starts bringing her shots, and she's sitting down with this guy and starts like making out with him. I'm just like, ooh, it was just like creepy and cringy. And it was like, that seems like the vibe at this bar. Like they're locals. This, you know, he's hooking all these guys up with the women that travel here. It was weird. So as I'm sitting there, I'm having less fun because more guys keep coming up to me, and this one specifically like would not leave me alone. And we couldn't even have a conversation, because he didn't speak English, and I didn't speak what I thought was Italian at first, but I was wrong, because he was getting his app out, and it turns out he was from Morocco, and he's just using Google Translate the whole time. And I'm like, I just want to have my drink alone and like sit here on the street and people watch, and like, bro, like, and he wouldn't go. I'm like, I just want to be alone. I'm by myself. Like, and it didn't matter how defensive I was or what I said, he just wouldn't leave. So the bar manager ended up picking up on this, which was nice. And he came out there and he's like, hey, I need to see you inside here for a second. I'm like, okay. So he takes me away, and he's like, sorry. He's like, I could tell that guy was bothering you, and I just wanted to get you away from him. I was like, thank you for that. And at that point, I'd had a couple of drinks. And then the bar manager, owner, whatever he was very cute, by the way. He said, have you ever had a shot with an Italian or something? Or an Italian shot? And I was like, no. And he's like, here, I'll show you. And he pours a shot, and he's like, it's basically, you take a shot and then you make out with an Italian. That's going to be me. Are you cool with that? And I'm just like, okay. So I took shot. And then we made out in the bar in front of everyone. And it was actually kind of hot. And he was like really cute. Anyway, we did a couple of these and it was great. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna go home later. Long story short. And I was tired from a day of traveling and dinner and then all these drinks, like whatever. So I was like, this is a good time to say peace out and go home. So I left and I was on my way home. And this is the funny thing. So I was heading home. It was so beautiful out. I'm like finding my way decently enough. And I started taking a video. And I don't remember what time this was, like maybe like 11 or midnight or I don't even know, maybe 1. But I was taking a video and I was like, I was on Snapchat. I was like, this is so nice. I was like, probably not the safest thing, like traveling in another country by yourself, but like, it feels so safe. And like walking home by myself at night, there's just something so romantic about it. And it's completely safe. And all of a sudden I like hear something and a guy says something. I look back and there's a man following me. It was one of the Moroccan men. I found this out later. Like, so apparently in the summer, a bunch of men from Morocco come over and stay here and like hit on all the women and try to get like a different woman every night. Like that's a thing. And they're very aggressive. And so anyway, this man is following me, one of the men that had been at the bar. And he's like, hey, and he's like, where are you from? And I'm like videoing. So I have this all on video. And that's the craziest thing. I was like, I posted that later. I'm like, it's so safe. And then this man's like, hey. And I'm like, oh my God. Anyway, I was like, Texas, like whatever. And he's like, you're going home? I was like, yeah, alone. And he's like, why? And I was like, because I want to. Like, anyway, I was like, okay, have a good night. Bye. And like, I was defensive. I made him leave me alone, like whatever. I got away from him. And then like a couple minutes later, I got my phone out to start recording again. And I was like, that was crazy, guys. Like I was literally recording saying how safe it was. And a man was following me. And then I look back and he's still following me. And I was like, oh, and I got scared at that point, like really scared. Cause I'm in this like alley. It's dark. Nobody's out. Nobody's around. And so I turned my phone off and I ran. I ran up the stairs and there's 2 doors. There's a door to get into the building and then there was and then a door and a key to get into my room. So I ran in, got in, locked all the doors, like, and I was good to go. But it really, really freaked me out. And I was like, okay, you know what? I have been a little loosey-goosey having my fun, but obviously I need to be more careful. And I just told my mom too, I was like, this place feels so safe. It's so small and like just local and like way more easygoing than Florence. Very safe. But I never had that happen in Florence. So anyway, it was crazy. So that was night 1. And I got in, I was so tired. I fell asleep on my bed and I woke up at like 3 in the morning and looked out the window and the freaking moon, it was almost a full moon, and the water out there, like you could just see it shine. It was just the most gorgeous thing I've ever seen. It really was. So pretty. If you guys go to my Instagram, like on the at top, it says like Italia under like the story area, and you can see all the pictures and videos I posted, but all this stuff I'm talking about is mostly on there. So that's pretty cool. Let's continue on. So that happened. I got a little intoxicated and it was a good night, but I knew the next day I wanted to wake up and do the hiking thing, even though like I really hadn't done enough research and I'm alone and, I should have done more, but I woke up feeling like, what do I do? Because I'm like, do I need to buy the train ticket that takes you to all the different cities? Do I have to buy the national park pass so I can hike between them? Like, what do I need here? So it was just a lot of research you had to do for that. And also I brought tennis shoes. I was going to bring my trail runners to go hiking and I didn't. And I wish I would have, because it says on a lot of the trails, they'll stop you and check to make sure you have like waterproof shoes or actual hiking shoes, because they can get pretty risque. And that was my thing, is like, how dangerous are these trails? How high up are they? Because as a lot of you know, I also have a fear of heights that has developed, within the last like 10 years or so with jeeping in Colorado and really high up hikes. So I was a little nervous about that. But either way, I woke up the next morning and I was like, I'm going to do it. So I put on my workout outfit, my tennis shoes, got my little backpack. My friend had also scared me too, that lives there, who said that all the trails are direct heat, direct sunlight. Every day it's like in the high 90s. And he's like, there's no water places. He's like, you got to be careful. It's very dangerous. So I'm like, great. Thanks for the pep talk. So I was nervous, but I got my sunscreen. I got a giant bottle of water. I got a granola bar just in case. Like I did all the things. I even bought a hat, which I never even used. It was a total waste of money, but it's fine. Yeah. And anyway, so I did all that and I went on my way. I looked up, ChatGPT told me what the most popular hike was. And apparently it's from Cornelia to the next city over, which is Vernazza. So very high up. And I'm going to look this up because let's see how many steps to go. into Cornelia. So basically, I got the train ticket and I took the like 2-minute train from Riomaggiore to Cornelia, which is the next city. And you'll read a lot that people say Cornelia is something to miss because it's so small and there's not a lot there. But it is one of the best places to hike from. That's like, I think probably the most popular hike is Cornelia to Vernazza. But now I see the reason people say to skip it, and it's because they're lazy, and for a good reason, because to get into Cornelia, there's a bus you can take, or you can not be a pussy. And when you get there, you have to literally, it's stairs that go up to the left, right, left, right, left, right, all the way to the top. It almost looks fake when you're looking at it. It's 300, 33 flights. A winding 33 flights of stairs up. It's what is it? Depending on your source, it says it's 382 or 383 steps. But that's a lot. And it literally is just this giant winding staircase up the side of a mountain. And that's how you get up into Cornelia. So it was kind of awesome. I was exhausted. And then at the top, there's like the barely any shade. And everybody's like huddling in the shade, drinking water, like dying. It was kind of awesome. So that happened, and then I found my way, thanks to Google Maps, to the beginning of the trailhead, and I was like, let's go, we're doing the hike. So I did it, and it was very high up, but it was just so gorgeous, and the water was down there. It's like, it didn't really bother me too much. There was also a restaurant up there that like apparently is like on the edge of a cliff, and I did find this, and I started to hike up there, and then once I started, it was too high. And I realized like once you get up there, you're literally sitting on the edge of a mountain on a table where they bring your food and your wine and all that out to you. And there's like a wooden rail that like protects you in case you fall. But your table is literally on the side of a cliff, like nothing hardly protecting you. And as I started climbing up there, I started getting really dizzy. It felt like the walls were closing. And then the fear of heights started really sinking in. I'm like, you're doing good already. Don't force this. And I'm like, plus like, you're really gonna go up there and eat a giant meal and then have a bunch of wine and continue this hike that you basically just started. I'm like, this is not smart. So I came down, and the like vertigo or dizziness or whatever went away really quickly. So I was happy that I read my body and listened and came down. So maybe next time, but I'm really proud of myself for doing this anyway. I was also going to say today is the first day, like this day, that I felt really lonely. And I don't know why. I'd met people, I'd been around people, I'd been fine. But for some reason, like, I think it's because you wake up in the morning and you want to talk to somebody, but everybody back home is sleeping at that point because of the time change, time difference and stuff. So you just like wake up not talking to anybody, you're lonely. And at the train station, like, everybody says there's gonna be Americans everywhere, so many tourists. There really were not. There really were not. And all the people around, I heard them talking in like different languages I didn't know. And so there's like not really anybody to talk to. I just felt like really, I don't know. So I was out on the trail and hiking, and I was feeling great. It was so beautiful. Like every corner you come around, you want to like take a video again, because it's just like everything was amazing looking. And as I was walking, there was a lady I met. She's like, said something. She goes, oh, hey, fresh juice and, spritzes up ahead, and fresh fruit. Like, you're almost there. And I was like, oh, awesome. And I'd been hiking for like an hour and a half or something. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. She's like, where are you from? I was like, Texas. And she's like, Vermont. And I was like, oh, and she was so sweet. We had like a little conversation. And I was like, it's really good to talk to you. I was like, I was feeling really lonely today. I'm traveling solo. So it's, nice to speak to somebody really friendly. And she was like, oh, and she's like, well, I'm staying in the city ahead. She's like, if you see me in Vernazza, you should, come find me. We'll have some vino together. And I was like, thanks. And it was just a cool little interaction. So kept hiking. I passed a man with his accordion and his dog, and he was playing like little Italian songs. Like, it just was such a cool vibe. And then I came up to the bar, restaurant, which is called Il Gabbiano. And anyway, went up there, and they don't have alcohol at that place right now, but they had fresh fruit. They had other like fresh fruit juices and, stuff like that. So I got like I don't even know what it was. It was like a sparkling lemon drink or something. It was really yummy. And then met the owner, who was so sweet, and he's like, do you mind if I sit and talk with you? And I was like, no. And he's like, I'm feeling really lonely. And I was like, me too. And he's like, people just come here with groups and they get their stuff and they go. And he's like, but I'm here like all day by myself and never have anybody to talk to. And I was like, well, lucky for you, I'm traveling solo, and it's great to have somebody to talk to. So anyway, he sat down, told me all about his life story, his wife, kid, having that bar and restaurant. Like, we just talked so much, and it was really, really cool. We talked for like 45 minutes or something, maybe an hour. And then he's like, can I give you something else? And he's like, here, take another drink or take this. He's like, I want to give you something. He's like, you sat down and talked to me and you were so kind. He's like, I don't want to be weird. And he's like, but you seem so amazing. He's like, I've never seen somebody with so much like positivity and like just like it radiates out of you. You just seem so happy and so positive and like you just have this energy. I'm like, oh my God, thank you. Like it was very sweet. So I'm like, it's just actually gonna make me sad because I'm like, are people rude like all the time coming here to? I don't know. But it was a sweet, sweet gesture, and I had a great time, and I was feeling so good after that. So I got back on the road, started hiking on. Not for long though. I was only like 5 or 10 minutes down the road a little when there was another bar. And this one I had seen online and I was like, that bartender is cute. And it was this older man. I say older man, he was probably like late 40s, and attractive. I've told you guys, like everybody, I told you, the men in Italy are hot. But the older men in Italy are like next level. Like they age very finely over there. So anyway, I stop and there were two girls in front of me that were together, and I got in line behind them, and this one had alcohol there. And as he was like talking to them and making their drinks, he cut me a piece of watermelon and gave me a watermelon slice, and he was so hot. Anyway, they got their drinks and they went. I was like Aperol spritz, and then we started talking like a lot. And he asked if I was traveling alone, and I told him how I love Vasco Rossi and Giovanotti, and so he had the music playing, and he started changing it, and he was putting music on for me, and then we were singing "Viva Re," and because I showed him my little "Viva Re" Vasco Rossi tattoo, and he said, "How do you know Vasco Rossi?" And like he was drinking wine, like I told you guys, everyone there drinks on the job, and of course you're out on a cliff by the ocean all day long by yourself, and he's just kept pouring more wine for himself, and then he put on like Latino music and like salsa and stuff, and then we ended up dancing salsa together, and oh, it was just, he was so funny. I could have stayed there all day and night. I was like, this is trouble, having my Aperol spritz, listening to music with him. My mom was like, you need to get out of there. I was like, I really do. So anyway, he gave me his number, and he's like, please call me. He's like, I'll bring some wine and food out and we can have dinner tonight. I never did. I just left it at what it was. It was a very good memory. And I have videos of him singing and dancing and stuff on my Instagram. If you guys go look at the Italia thing, he's on there. So cute. So cute. What a great day. So I left there reluctantly and hiked on, and I finally made it to Vernazza, which is beautiful. You just come in on top of the city, and it's crazy at the highest points. You can see like the cities that you hiked from, and it's just, it's next level, guys. It really is. So it was very cool. I came in on that, and by that time I was very hungry. I'd been hiking for hours, and there was a great little lunch spot right there. I need to like find these and link them. I put it in my Instagram stories. But it's like right on top of the cliff there. Voted like probably the best view, I think it was, in Vernazza. And the food was, oh my God, it was unbelievable. I told him like to recommend something, and it was this like red tomato sauce, fettuccine pasta. And it had like fresh tuna, like raw tuna with like this super fresh cream. It sounds like such a weird combo, but it was phenomenal. Oh my God. And the views, it was just, it was so amazing. So that happened. Hiked back down into the city after that. Met a guy who was solo traveling from Turkey. Super nice. We exchanged info, had gelato together. Just walked around, looked at the place, and then I was gonna hike to the next city, but it was getting late. I was really tired. I really had to pee, and that's the annoying thing about the bathrooms there, is like a lack of them. So a lot of places you have to buy something in, or they'll just say they don't have a bathroom. A lot of places you have to pay $1 or $2, or sorry, €1 or €2 to use a bathroom, but a lot of places will say they just don't have one. The train stations do have a bathroom, and you can use them if you have a train ticket for the day, but this one was broken. So I had to pee so bad. I could not find anywhere to go to the bathroom. I was getting so frustrated. So I just decided to take the train to see the last two cities instead of hiking it. And I was like, maybe I'll do it another day. And I never did. I kind of regret it. But that day I hiked for like 3 or 4 hours or something. And I'm like, that suffice. You know, I got everything I needed from that. It was beautiful. It was perfect. Apparently on this other hike though, they have a vineyard up there, and you can stop and do like wine tastings. And it's just, I don't know. I need to go back. I need to go back and do it all. But it was such a great day. So like I said, I went and I kind of did like a little pub crawl. I had another drink in the next city, another drink in the next city, and then headed home. And I was like, I'm going to go home, shower, go have some, a nice little meal. I don't know, whatever. I was just excited. That was by far my favorite day of any of the days I had done. Like the hiking, the meeting the different people at the bars. It started off being so lonely, and then ended up being my favorite day. But I'm not done yet, because there's still more reasons why this is my favorite day. This is all over the place, I know, but we're gonna have another little sip of kombucha, and I will continue on. Reading my notes to make sure I've said everything. Man followed me home. Favorite day, amazing views, conquered my fear of heights. I was very proud of that. I'm hoping next time I go out or do anything, like I can see, like, if I'm still cured, we'll see. We will see. So that night I made or I didn't make a reservation. They recommend making reservations. I never really had to there. I found everywhere, especially being one person, they can get you in pretty easily, which is nice. So there was a restaurant that was like, well, I say most restaurants were on the cliff because the whole city is built in. So it's hard to like know where to go. Everywhere is so beautiful. So I ate at this restaurant that was like by the train station right up on top of the mountain. And I had a big bowl of pesto pasta and it was phenomenal. And that was my thought too. I was like, why do I need to go to a pesto making class? Like I've made pesto at home. No, guys, like the ones in Italy, you literally pick the ingredients fresh from their garden there and make it and sing and drink wine. And like, it was, oh my God, the pesto was so good. When I tell you, I said like there were like 4 times I think at least that I ate a dish and my eyes teared up. And oh my God, the pesto and Cinque Terre, amazing, amazing. So I had pesto, pasta, I had wine, and once again, afterwards, I was sitting there like waiting for my check forever. And I started falling asleep. It was like 10:30 or 11 p.m. After that full day. I'd gotten up early, a little hungover, hiked all day, did all this stuff. And I was sitting there like, I was literally falling asleep. My eyes were closing. I was like, I'm so tired. So I left and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to this different bar that a different, Italian friend had told me about and get one drink and then go home. And I was like, I'm avoiding that scary, creepy bar from last night. I'm going to this other bar. So, this is a different night. I'm getting my nights confused. I'm just kidding. Ah, crap. Okay, hold on. Just kidding. That's the next night. This night I came back and I did make a reservation at this one place, and I ate right on the water, and I had gnocchi with shrimp in it. My bad. But it was right on the harbor, so that was cool. And afterwards, I met a couple from Mexico. And they've been married like 20 years or something, and they were on this big European trip with their kids and family, and they all went home and they were finishing this last leg together. So anyway, they were super nice. I told them about the creepy guy following me home before, and they were like, this is where we stay, like come to us if you need anything. Like super nice people. So that was great. So then I was like, okay, I want drinks tonight, and I'm avoiding the creepy bar. So we didn't get that off track. I'm avoiding the creepy bar, and I found this bar that was like really highly rated called like the Vertical Bar or Vertical Lounge. And I know exactly why it was called that, because this one was not down by the water. This one was up in the city, and you had to hike like straight up to get there. Oh my God. I felt like I was going to fall backwards trying to hike up there. It was so high up. But I finally got there and I was like exhausted. And even sitting outside in the little like tables and chairs they had, it's like they were like diagonal. Like it was, if you fell out of the chair, like you're going to roll down the hill. That's how the whole city was built. I cannot stress this enough. It was crazy. So there were a few people up there. I ended up getting a Moscow Mule, which was so good and refreshing after the long day. And it was just great. And the bartender, like the bar waiter, was so freaking cute. He was like absolutely my type. He had like, what is it, the llama or the broccoli cut that I like to call it, that's kind of like the mullet-y thing, but it was like curly. And he had these like thick glasses, and he was like really thick himself. Like he was hot. He was very quiet and very shy, which is not my type, but so cute. So there was a couple of other people there, and we're all drinking, and then everybody ended up leaving, and I was there alone, and it was still really early. These cities are very sleepy little cities, it seems like, so it wasn't super surprising. Anyway, but I ended up ordering another drink, and I was the only one there, and then he comes outside, and he's having a drink, because I told you, they all drink on the job there. It's interesting. And so then I started talking to him, like making small talk, like, oh, blah, 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 like, what's your name, where are you from, is it always this quiet? Long story short, we talked a lot, and then the bar was closing. I was still the only one there besides the other bartenders, and I was like, what's your plan for tonight? And he's like, I'm going to go to a party. I'm like, that's cool. Well, it turned out he asked if I wanted to hang out, and I was like, yes. And so he gave me his number, and he's like, the bar closes in like 20 minutes, and I'm going to have to like, shut it down, clean a little, and then I'll message you. And I was like, cool. And after circumstances, as of late, I was like in my head, like, he might ghost me. We'll see. So I just left, went home, changed, and he texted me a picture of him that was so cute. And he's like, hey, I got a bottle of wine. And he like had the wine up with the cups. And so anyway, he ended up coming. He didn't come to my room. He came and met me in the harbor, and we drank the bottle of wine together and talked and got to know each other. And the moon was out, almost full once again, and just gorgeous, right on the water. So awesome. Anyway, so we talked forever, and then I ended up inviting him back, and we hung out, and it was so funny because like I told you guys how I had a slumber party with my friends. We call it a slumby. It's a whole thing now. And I was talking to him, and I love the accent and the language difference and the barrier. I freaking love it. So we were laying in bed and talking. I was like, "Do you know what a slumber party is?" He's like, "Slumber party." And I was like, "Yeah, we call it a slumby." And he's like, "Slumby party." And like anyway, I ended up taking a video with him and sent it to my friends in the run club that we had the little slum beat together, and they were dying. They're like, "No way." So, not going to go into any details here about the night, but it was a great one. One for the books, one that I cannot stop smiling like an idiot right now for, but it was a perfect night. And then the next morning, he took me to breakfast and wanted to buy me gelato and breakfast and everything. And it was just great. So he's a great guy, very fun, had an awesome time. And yeah, that's how that ended the next morning. And then oh, what did I do? I think I relaxed that day. I thought about going hiking some more, but after the night I had, I was like, and the hiking yesterday, I was exhausted. So I took it easy, went and explored some, had good lunches, soaked up some beach time, well, rocky beach time. Anyway, it was great. So let's see. That is the night that after all of that, I booked oh, no, sorry. Oh my gosh. This sucks, guys. Sorry. There's just too much information. So, what I did that evening, because I also read you could take a ferry from island to island, which was also enticing. Instead of a train or hiking, you can also take a ferry. But I wanted to see something by water. So I did book a sunset cruise. It was like at 7, it was like $50, and they take you out, give you focaccia, wine, and you get to see all 5 of the cities like from the water and go swimming. So I went, and this made me feel better too. It was like, there's a lot of Americans and a lot of Brits on there. And so I met a lot of people, met these 2 amazing men that were on their honeymoon together. So cute. Met some really cool people. Got to see the sunset. The captain of the ship was so cute. Kept our wine glasses full the whole time. And then we got to swim at the end, which was awesome. It was really cold and the current was so rough. And me and this other guy that were out there, like the one on his honeymoon, I swear we were like drifting further and further. And then we couldn't get back to the boat. And at the end, we're like, "Come get us." Like we're exhausted. So the boat had to come get him and I. And anyway, it was really fun. So that happened. And it was totally worth it. Totally worth the money. They have so many sunset cruises out there too. And so many hot guys just with boats waiting for you to rent them, which next time I will definitely do that too. But it was a great time, definitely worth every cent. And then after that, that's when I went to the rooftop, and that's when I had the pesto that was delicious, and that's when I was falling asleep. And that is when I was like, okay, now tonight is the night that I am going to have a drink and then call it a night early. So that's when I went to this bar to look for that my friend told me about. And it was right across the street from the super creepy bar where the bartenders were buying you shots and all the men were looking at you weird, and it was interesting. So that was that night. So I went to this bar, or I was walking up to it. I was looking at Google directions. And as I was walking up, I had on a white dress, and I saw this guy who I had seen for the past 2 days. He was definitely like a local there. He worked somewhere down by the water because that's where I had seen him. And he was always wearing like white linen with his shirt like unbuttoned or like undone all the way. Like, and oh my God, he had the hottest tattoos like everywhere, like covered, like tribal kind of tattoos, like really hot, like Jason Momoa style. Just this gorgeous guy. And like, again, I had been like eyeing him for days. I saw him everywhere and he was so cute. So I walked up and there he was in all his white again. And I'm looking at my thing and he's like, "Ciao." And he's like, "We match. We have the same." And we do. I was like, "It's fate." And I was like, "Can you tell me where this bar is?" And he's like, "It's right here." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then he's like, "Are you going in?" I was like, "Yeah, just for a drink. I'm really tired." And he's like, "Okay." Anyway, so yeah, he was really hot. And, and I was like, "Thanks." And I went inside, I got a drink, and I was like, I'm just gonna sit inside because the creepy bar was next door. Like there were so many people there. It was already getting to be like kind of crazy. And so I found a little like quiet place to sit inside. And then like 10 minutes later, so he comes inside and has his drink and finds me at the table, and he comes up and asks if he can sit with me. And I was like, "Sure." Of course. Anyway, so then he shows me, we talked about traveling, and he had like dice, and he showed me a game he learned to play in Thailand when he traveled there. And he's like, "How about whoever loses has to buy the other shots? You have to win 3 in a row, and whoever loses buys a tequila shot." I'm like, "Oh yeah, bet. So we did that and I lost my ass. And I was like, do you do this with every girl? Do you have like a cheat method? And then you get them to buy you tequila shots? He's like, no. He's like, let's do best 2 out of 3. And I was like, okay. I lost again. I did not buy any tequila shots. Turns out his brother works at this bar too as a bartender, who also was insanely hot, covered in tattoos, just gorgeous. Anyway, so he got us tequila shots. I met his brother. We talked a lot more. It turns out he's a doctor and he also used to play soccer. And I got to see some of those pictures. So he is an athlete and you could tell, oh my goodness, I'm getting carried away. I also met another girl that night who was solo traveling as well. She lives in England, but she's from Colombia. And so it turns out there's a beach party this night that they were telling us about. And I was like, what time? And they're like, this bar closes at 1. Everybody gets their alcohol and then we go down to the beach. And I'm like, oh my God. And this is the night that I was falling asleep at the dinner table. And I'm like, but when you tell me there's a local beach party and I get invited, I can't say no to that. This is the stuff I live for. When people ask me like, how did you even know about that? Like meeting locals and getting invited to stuff like this is what I live for. So I rallied, man. And I wanted a Red Bull and vodka so bad. They don't have anything like that. And I actually ordered a vodka club soda lime and they're like, what? Like they had no idea what it was. They made it, but I had to like tell them how. And I was like, okay. I was just like Aperol spritzed out a little at that point, I guess. I don't know. But anyway. So I met a lot of really cool people, rallied so we could go to this beach party. What else? It was insane. It was a lot of people out. And then I saw the bar manager from next door too. They're all friends. So all these bar managers, that's what I'm learning about this place is it's very small, it is very local, and you get to know everyone very quickly. So by like day 2 there, I already felt like a local, especially by day 3, I'm walking around, people are knowing my name, you're seeing all the same people. Like you get known very quickly there. So be careful of your actions is all I'm saying. Okay, where do we go from here? So we're talking, we're hanging out, we're all dancing. And then he's like, well, let's go there early. So me and hot soccer player end up going out and he's like, oh, there's like a trail over here that goes to the top of this mountain. Do you want to see it? I'm like, yeah. Dangerous. I don't know this guy. He's like the hottest man I've ever seen. So I say yes. And I have sandals on and I'm hiking to the top of a mountain and 1 a.m. and it's the full moon. And it was a beautiful view from up there in many ways. We'll just stick to that. So that was fun. And then we went down to join the party that was happening. A DJ came out with his lights and they call it a beach party, but it was like just in the cliffs. Basically, like, so the side of a mountain is basically where the party was. So it was right on the water. And like I said, it was a full moon. So the view was just stunning. And the music was great. They played a lot of Bad Bunny and danced, had fun, drank more, met so many people. Just what a freaking great night. It was great. Now, the only bad thing about this night was like, I kind of wanted to get out of there. And without going into too many details, which I will another time, I kind of got stuck a little bit because he wanted to keep hanging out. The bar owner from the other bar wanted to hang out. Everyone wanted to hang out together. And I was like, I'm really tired and I've had fun tonight and I'm really ready to go to bed. But the bad part was there was one way in the trail and one way out. And so basically I tried to sneak out a few times and it didn't work. And I finally got them talking to other people and I hauled ass. I literally ran away from the party and oh my God, I ran away from the party and I acted like I was on the phone the whole way there. And then this creepy men that I met at that bar the first night were all around like, hey, like it's weird. Anyway, I didn't stop till I got back to my room. My doors were locked. I was in safe and I was like, what an adventure. So that was my fun night there. And I was exhausted. I think this was like 4 or 5 in the morning. I don't even know. It was crazy. So that happened. I slept in a little the next day. I packed a lot. I actually went to the grocery store there. I bought some wine and some olives and crackers and cheese and like did like a little shopping trip. Kind of had some stuff on my own. I did a lot of shopping in stores that day on my final day there. Saw some buskers. These guys from the Czech Republic were there playing in the train station. Amazing. I just really enjoyed the city on that last day. The Italian soccer player from the night before messaged me and he's like, where'd you disappear to? And I was like, sorry. I was like, family emergency. My mom was even like, family emergency. What are you going to do about it when you're like in Italy? And I'm like, exactly. I don't know. But he's like, hey, I have a boat. Do you want to come out today? And My God, y'all. I think that might be the most responsible decision I've ever made and surprising because of like a boat. Are you kidding? But I don't know what trouble would have ensued, and I do mean trouble. It would not have been a good idea. I said no, or I was just like, I just didn't answer. I think I don't even know what I did, but I didn't go. I went and had some bruschetta and another Aperol Spritz at this really good restaurant I found at the very top of the city. And oh my God, they had like giant pieces of fresh mozzarella and tomatoes and like the pesto, the just clumps of fresh pesto on there. It was like the biggest dish and I ate every bite. There was no way I was leaving a single piece. I was so stuffed. It was so much food and it was like the best thing I've ever put in my mouth. So it was a very enjoyable last day. What restaurant did I do that night? I don't even remember. Oh yeah, I found a little like place in the city that was really good as well. Had a lot of wine. It was awesome. And then that night, I did not go out because I had a very early trip to Rome the next morning. I had to catch like a 8 a.m. train or something. Actually, I think it was like a 7:30 train and then an 8 a.m. train. And I had already bought my tickets. I bought a first class ticket to Rome because it was like a 3.5 hour ride. And I was like, why not? I'll try the first class. So anyway, so that's how it ended. I went back to my room. I finished my bottle of wine I'd bought, with my window open, looking at the moon over the water, reminiscing on the crazy last 4 days I had in that city. And I'm tearing up right now. What is wrong with me? Um, but yeah, I got up early the next morning, showered, had all my stuff ready to go, and went to the train station. And it was really early, watched the sunrise, and I felt so sad. I felt so sad leaving that city, which is weird because I even said, like, I've done everything I can do here. I know everyone. I should have stayed in different places because you just get to know the people too well. But I genuinely felt like a local there. Like I knew so many people by the time I left. Like I went grocery shopping there. Like I felt like that little place I stayed was like my little home. Like it felt amazing there. And just like being there at the sunset the sunrise the next morning, waiting for my train, like the water was so calm. Like it was just like I felt my heart breaking leaving that city. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? This quiet, beautiful little fishing village that has so many fun secrets. Like, it was unbelievable. So, you can tell probably by my tears right now that Riomaggiore and the Cinque Terre was my favorite place I went. I was so thrilled to be there. I met so many amazing people, had the best food I've had in my life. Some of the most romantic, amazing nights of my life. And yeah, it was so unbelievable. I would go back in an absolute heartbeat. I highly recommend it to everyone. And yeah, I was real sad to leave. So anyway, that is the end of that. An hour long again. That is all over the place, but there's all your details. It was an epic time. So that was your Italy part 2. We have one more to go, which was me going to Rome. And it's so weird because it's been like I've been home what now like a couple weeks and it feels like forever ago. It feels like a lifetime ago. I was already there. I was there. Like I'm already forgetting things. So kind of crazy. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the stories. Send in any questions you have, any comments you have, all of that stuff to sarahbshow.com. You can go on there and do it. And I promise, like I said, I will answer y'all's questions next time that you've already sent in. Rome, I only stayed in for 2 days. That was my shortest stint of time. I'm going to tell you right now, Rome was absolutely my least favorite place I went. And I had some scary moments that went on there. So I will definitely tell you all about that. Something to look forward to. And there you go. And once again, after all this, I will update you guys on current or lack of relationship statuses and dating situationships, all that. And we'll probably have some stories as well about tomorrow night because it seems like it's going to be pretty epic. So there you go. Thank you guys for listening. Thanks for all the sweet comments. I appreciate you all. Yeah, thanks for supporting me and all my crazy adventures. I love you guys. I hope you have a great weekend. It's going to be a long one. Everybody enjoy. Be safe. Don't drink and drive. Don't do anything I want to do. And I will talk to you guys next time on another episode of The Sarah B Show.